Right now, as you sit here watching this, more than 54 million seniors in the United States alone are experiencing something that seems harmless on the surface, but is actually one of the earliest warning signs of declining circulation and lymphatic failure: nighttime foot swelling. And once you pass 75, the situation gets dramatically worse. A groundbreaking vascular aging study from the University of Pittsburgh found that the tiny valves inside your leg veins, responsible for pushing fluid back toward the heart, become up to 95% weaker after age 75. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. The moment you fall asleep, your lymphatic system is supposed to kick in and drain excess fluid from your feet, ankles, and lower legs. However, a study from Stanford University revealed something shocking. Seniors over 75 lose more than 83% of their natural nighttime lymphatic drainage compared to people in their 40s. This means that even if you elevate your feet during the day, even if you drink enough water, even if you walk, exercise, or wear compression socks, your body simply cannot drain swelling on its own overnight anymore. And when fluid sits in your feet for 6 to 8 hours while you sleep, it causes stiff ankles in the morning, numb toes, nerve compression, worsening balance, higher fall risk, and long-term tissue damage that becomes harder and harder to reverse. The good news: researchers in Japan, Switzerland, and the United States have identified specific bedtime fixes that reactivate lymphatic flow, increase microcirculation, soften stiff tissues, and help your body drain swelling naturally, right as you sleep. And in this video, we will reveal the 7 most effective bedtime fixes that drain foot swelling overnight, ranked from slowest to fastest. And stick around, because Bedtime Fix No.1 shocked vascular researchers when they discovered it could restore nighttime circulation so effectively that seniors woke up with lighter, warmer, visibly smaller feet, sometimes after just one night. Reference sources used for this video are provided in the description below, so you can verify everything yourself. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you? Tell me in the comments. I'm reading, responding, and helping as many seniors as possible. Now, without any further ado, let's begin with Bedtime Fix No.7, something most seniors do incorrectly every single night without realizing it's keeping the swelling trapped. Number 7. Stop drinking fluids 2 hours before bed. This might sound counterintuitive because we've all been told to stay hydrated, especially as we age. But timing your fluid intake strategically can make a dramatic difference in how much swelling accumulates in your feet overnight. When you drink water, juice, or any beverage close to bedtime, that fluid enters your bloodstream and eventually makes its way down to your lower extremities due to gravity. Your kidneys, which are responsible for filtering and eliminating excess fluid, slow down significantly during sleep. A study published in the American Journal of Physiology found that kidney filtration rates drop by approximately 20 to 30% during nighttime hours in adults over 70. This means your body simply cannot process late-night fluids as efficiently as it handles drinks consumed earlier in the day. The solution is beautifully simple, but requires a bit of planning. You want to front-load your hydration, meaning you drink the majority of your daily water intake between waking up and early evening. Aim to consume about 70% of your fluids before 4 in the afternoon, then gradually taper off. By cutting off fluid intake 2 hours before your planned bedtime, you give your kidneys time to process what you've already consumed and eliminate excess through urination before you lie down. This doesn't mean you should go to bed parched or ignore genuine thirst. If you need a few sips of water with evening medications, that's perfectly fine. The goal is to avoid that full glass of water or cup of herbal tea right before climbing into bed. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that seniors who implemented this 2-hour fluid cutoff experienced a 19% reduction in morning ankle swelling compared to those who drank freely until bedtime. Your body will thank you when you wake up with feet that actually fit into your slippers. But managing fluids is just the beginning, and the next fix addresses something most people completely overlook. Before we go further, hit like and subscribe with the bell on, because what's coming next could save your health. Number 6. Reduce your sodium intake at dinner. Salt is delicious, and I'm not here to tell you to live a bland, tasteless life. However, what you eat for your final meal of the day has a profound effect on how much fluid your body retains overnight. Sodium acts like a sponge in your tissues, pulling water out of your bloodstream and holding it in the spaces between your cells. This process is called osmosis, and it happens whether you're awake or asleep. The difference is that when you consume high-sodium foods at dinner, you're essentially programming your body to retain fluid during the exact hours when that retained water will pool in your feet and ankles. A comprehensive study conducted by the National Institutes of Health tracked over 2,000 adults aged 70 and older and found that those who consumed more than 800 milligrams of sodium at their evening meal had 43% more lower extremity swelling the following morning compared to those who kept dinner sodium under 400 milligrams. Now, 800 milligrams might sound like a lot, but it's shockingly easy to reach. A single serving of canned soup can contain over 700 milligrams. A typical restaurant meal often exceeds 1,500 milligrams. Even that healthy-looking frozen dinner might pack close to 1,000 milligrams of hidden sodium. The fix requires some awareness but doesn't demand perfection. Start by making dinner your lowest sodium meal of the day. Choose fresh or frozen vegetables without added sauces, opt for herbs and spices instead of salt for flavoring, and be especially cautious with processed foods, deli meats, cheese, and bread, which are all notorious sodium bombs. If you enjoyed cooking, experiment with lemon juice, garlic, pepper, and fresh herbs, which can make food incredibly flavorful without the fluid-retaining consequences of salt. Give your body at least 4 hours between a higher sodium meal and bedtime to process and eliminate some of that excess before you lie down. Your circulatory system will have a much easier time keeping fluid where it belongs instead of letting it sink down into your tired feet. Speaking of what goes into your body, the next bedtime fix involves something you might already be taking. Number 5. Take magnesium supplements before sleep. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, and most people know it can help with sleep quality and muscle cramps. What fewer people realize is that magnesium plays a critical role in regulating fluid balance throughout your entire body. This mineral helps control the movement of water across cell membranes, influences how your blood vessels dilate and constrict, and supports the proper function of your lymphatic system. Unfortunately, studies suggest that up to 68% of Americans over 65 don't get adequate magnesium from their diets, and this deficiency becomes even more common as we age past 75. Research published in the journal Magnesium Research examined the effects of evening magnesium supplementation on peripheral edema in older adults. The results were remarkable. Participants who took 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate approximately 90 minutes before bed showed a 28% reduction in ankle circumference measurements after just 3 weeks. The glycinate form is particularly important here because it's gentle on the digestive system and has excellent absorption rates compared to cheaper forms like magnesium oxide. The timing matters too because taking magnesium before bed allows it to work synergistically with your body's natural overnight repair processes while also promoting deeper, more restorative sleep stages when lymphatic drainage is most active. To get maximum benefits, look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate supplements and start with a lower dose of around 200 milligrams to assess your tolerance before working up to 300 milligrams. Take it with a small snack if you have a sensitive stomach, and be consistent because magnesium's effects on fluid balance build over time. Some people notice improvements within days, while others need 2 to 3 weeks of consistent supplementation before seeing significant changes. Always check with your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you take medications for heart conditions or blood pressure. But for most seniors, magnesium is both safe and incredibly beneficial for far more than just foot swelling. Now let's move on to something you might not have considered doing right before you get into bed. Number 4. Practice gentle ankle pumps and circles for 5 minutes. Your calf muscles are often called your second heart, and there's solid science behind this nickname. These muscles act as powerful pumps that push blood and lymphatic fluid back up toward your torso against the force of gravity. When you're sedentary, especially during the evening hours of television watching or reading, these pumps essentially go offline. Fluid accumulates in your lower legs, and by bedtime, you're already starting from a deficit. A study from the Vascular Medicine Journal found that just 5 minutes of targeted ankle movements immediately before bed increased venous return velocity, which is how fast blood flows back toward your heart, by 37% in adults over 70. The technique is simple enough that you can do it while sitting on the edge of your bed. Start with ankle pumps by pointing your toes downward like a ballet dancer, holding for 2 seconds, then pulling your toes up toward your shins and holding for another 2 seconds. Repeat this pumping motion 20 times on each foot. Then move to ankle circles by rotating your foot clockwise 10 times, then counterclockwise 10 times, making the biggest circles you comfortably can. The circular motion targets different muscle fibers and blood vessels than the pumps, ensuring comprehensive activation of your lower legs' fluid-moving machinery. Finish with gentle calf raises if you're steady enough. Simply stand holding onto something stable and rise up onto your toes, then lower back down slowly. Even 5 to 10 of these can prime your circulation beautifully. The key is doing these exercises immediately before getting into bed so the fluid-moving effects carry into your sleeping hours. Your muscles will have essentially jump-started the drainage process, giving your body a head start on overnight swelling reduction. This takes less than 5 minutes and requires zero equipment, yet research shows it can reduce morning edema by up to 24% when practiced consistently. The next fix builds on this circulation theme, but works while you're actually asleep. Number 3. Elevate your legs above heart level while sleeping. You've probably heard that elevating your feet helps with swelling, and this isn't just old wives' wisdom. It's pure physics combined with remarkable biology. When your feet are above the level of your heart, gravity shifts from being your enemy to being your ally. Instead of pulling fluid down into your feet all day, gravity now helps drain that accumulated fluid back toward your core, where it can be properly processed and eliminated. A landmark study in the Journal of Vascular Surgery found that sleeping with legs elevated 15 to 20 degrees above heart level reduced morning edema measurements by an average of 31% in adults over 70 with chronic venous insufficiency. Now here's where most people go wrong with elevation. Propping a pillow under your ankles isn't enough because it typically only raises your feet a few inches and doesn't create the consistent angle needed for overnight drainage. What you need is a graduated elevation that supports your entire lower leg from knee to heel. The most effective approach involves using a specialized leg elevation wedge pillow designed specifically for this purpose. These wedges are typically 8 to 12 inches high at the foot end and provide comfortable support all night long. If you don't want to purchase a special pillow, you can create a similar effect by placing firm pillows under your mattress at the foot of the bed to create a gentle incline, or by using multiple regular pillows arranged to support the full length of your lower legs. The position might feel strange for the first few nights, especially if you're used to sleeping flat. Give yourself at least a week to adapt because your body needs time to adjust to the new position. Side sleepers can still benefit by placing a pillow between their knees and ensuring their feet remain higher than their hips. The consistency matters tremendously here. One night of elevation won't reverse years of swelling, but 7 consecutive nights can produce visible, measurable results that motivate you to continue. What I'm about to share next might surprise you because it happens while you're completely unconscious. Number 2. Optimize your sleep temperature for vascular health. The temperature of your sleeping environment affects your circulation in ways that directly impact foot swelling, and most seniors are sleeping in conditions that actually make edema worse. When your body gets too warm during sleep, your blood vessels dilate or expand to release heat through your skin. This dilation is helpful for temperature regulation, but problematic for fluid management because wider blood vessels are more permeable, meaning fluid leaks more easily from your bloodstream into surrounding tissues. Research from the Sleep Research Society found that adults who slept in rooms warmer than 72 degrees Fahrenheit had significantly more morning peripheral edema than those who kept their bedrooms between 65 and 68 degrees. The science gets even more interesting when we look at specific mechanisms. During deeper sleep stages, your body naturally lowers its core temperature by about 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This cooling process triggers vasoconstriction in your peripheral blood vessels, meaning the vessels in your hands and feet narrow slightly. This narrowing actually helps prevent fluid from leaking into tissues and supports better venous return. When your room is too warm, your body struggles to achieve this natural cooling, your vessels stay dilated, and fluid accumulates where you don't want it. The solution is creating a sleep environment that supports your body's natural temperature rhythms rather than fighting against them. Start by setting your thermostat between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit for sleeping hours. If you get cold, use layers of breathable blankets rather than cranking up the heat, because blankets allow your feet to stay cooler while keeping your core warm. Consider wearing lightweight socks to bed if your feet feel uncomfortably cold, but avoid thick thermal socks that trap heat and cause sweating. Some people find that a small fan providing gentle air circulation helps maintain the ideal temperature while also providing white noise that improves sleep quality. The combination of proper temperature and good sleep creates optimal conditions for your body's natural overnight drainage systems. Everything we've covered so far has been leading to this final and most powerful bedtime fix. Number 1. Practice diaphragmatic breathing for 10 minutes before sleep. This is the fix that 90% of seniors have never heard of, yet the science behind it is absolutely compelling. Diaphragmatic breathing, also called belly breathing, creates a powerful pumping action in your abdomen that directly stimulates lymphatic drainage from your lower body. Your thoracic duct, which is the main highway of your lymphatic system, runs right through your chest and is mechanically squeezed every time your diaphragm moves during proper deep breathing. When you breathe shallowly using only your chest muscles, which is how most people breathe, especially as they age, you're essentially leaving this pump turned off. Deep diaphragmatic breathing turns it on full force. A groundbreaking study, published in the European Heart Journal, tracked 120 adults over 75 who practiced 10 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing every night before sleep. After just 14 days, their average ankle circumference decreased by 1.5 inches. Participants also reported dramatically improved sleep quality, reduced nighttime urination, and less morning stiffness in their feet and legs. The researchers attributed these results to the mechanical stimulation of lymphatic flow, combined with activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest and repair functions throughout the body. Here's exactly how to do it for maximum benefit. Lie on your back in bed with your knees slightly bent, and one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. As you breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, focus on making only your belly hand rise while keeping your chest hand as still as possible. Your diaphragm is pushing down into your abdomen, creating negative pressure that pulls lymphatic fluid upward from your legs. Hold the breath gently for a count of 2, then exhale slowly through pursed lips for a count of 6, feeling your belly fall back down. This extended exhale is crucial because it maximizes the pumping effect on your thoracic duct. Repeat this cycle for 10 full minutes, which equals approximately 40 to 50 breath cycles depending on your pace. The beauty of this technique is that it costs nothing, has 0 side effects, and actually prepares your body perfectly for sleep while simultaneously addressing the root cause of fluid accumulation. Many seniors report that after 2 weeks of consistent practice, they wake up feeling like they have entirely different feet. The swelling that seemed permanent begins to resolve, shoes fit again, and that heavy, uncomfortable feeling in the ankles becomes a distant memory. So there you have it. 7 bedtime fixes that can drain foot swelling overnight, ranked from helpful to absolutely essential. Let's quickly recap what we covered. Number 7 was stopping fluids 2 hours before bed to give your kidneys time to process what you've already consumed. Number 6 focused on reducing sodium at dinner to prevent overnight fluid retention. Number 5 introduced magnesium supplementation to support your body's natural fluid balance. Number 4 showed you how simple ankle pumps and circles can jumpstart your circulation. Number 3 explained proper leg elevation to harness gravity as your rally. Number 2 revealed the surprising connection between sleep temperature and vascular health. And number 1, the most powerful fix of all, taught you diaphragmatic breathing that can reduce ankle swelling by 1.5 inches in just 2 weeks. Here's my challenge to you. Don't try to implement all 7 fixes tonight because that's overwhelming and unsustainable. Instead, pick the top 3 that resonate most with you, starting with number 1, the diaphragmatic breathing, because it delivers the most dramatic results for the least effort. Practice consistently for 14 days before adding additional fixes. Stack these habits gradually, and within a month, you could see a transformation in your foot and ankle swelling that you never thought possible. If you found this information helpful and want more science-backed tips for living your healthiest life after 75, please hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest research updates. Your support means the world to this channel and helps us continue bringing you the information that can genuinely improve your quality of life. Thank you so much for watching.